Right, because this coving is, or this cornice is so long, and I'm doing the job on my own, I'm going to cut it in half, or thereabouts. In the centre, and I'm tilting the saw a few degrees. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to stick it up in the corner there, and I'm going to make the corner. As you notice, I've laid the coving on the ceiling and the wall, so 50% of the coving is on the wall, 50% is on the wall and 50% is on the ceiling. So that's going to be our guide. Take a pencil, mark the bottom. So basically, on the bottom here, all the coving is going to go around the bottom of the wall. And take a pencil, mark the top, mark the bottom, and take down. Nice. What we marked, top and the bottom, to make a template, I'm going to take the other piece and I'm going to lay it up against there, making sure the bottom of this cornice is in line with this bottom line. Yeah? And I'm going to mark the top. Once I mark the top, I'm going to mark the cornice on the line. I'm going to take that down and then take the first piece back up. Make sure the bottom is in line with the pencil mark and mark it on there. That's going to come off. What we need to do now is we're going to cut from the mark here down to the very bottom. So this is going to come off. We're going to get our saw, ordinary wood saw, and then we're going to hold it on the bottom to the mark. Can you see the mark there? On the coving. Yeah? Mm-hmm. So we're just going to make a few slices, just nice and gently. Nice and gently. We're going to tilt the saw 45 degrees. Yeah, you're going to roughly average 45 degrees. Well, I'd tell you what, Daniel, if you want to come here so you can get this cut in now. Just let the saw do the work. There we are. Right, let's have a look at what it's like up on the ceiling. There we are. Good. Yeah. We're going to get the second piece now. Hold the second piece up against the wall. As we marked earlier, I'm going to take the second line, I'm going to mark our coving the second line. So that's going to be cut off. Cut from there to there, which is roughly 45 degrees. 45 degrees. Yeah, so we're going to cut it from this mark here right to the edge. I'm going to lay our saw on there, and we're going to turn the saw 45 degrees instead of straight. So let's just get a cut on it first, and then turn the saw 45 degrees at an angle. I'll just show you an example. This is a mitre cut for cutting cornice and coving. Yeah. These can be purchased off eBay or in many decorating shops. I just want to show you an example of 45 degrees. This is true 45 degrees. So for instance, we're doing our cuts freestyle. But if you was to follow this, yeah, you turn your saw 45 degrees. 45 degrees. So we've got that because we're doing it freestyle. 45 degrees. And then continue like that. Nice and gentle, as you can see there. So this will go up to this way. And there you can see the edges joined there. Keep the bottoms the same. And what we're going to do now, we're going to mix up our adhesive. I'm going to fix these to the ceiling. Right in there, all we have is just clean water. This is a bumping tool for mixing up the adhesive, but it still does the job. So this is clean water, cold clean water. I got something called PVA. I'm mixing some PVA in there. Quite a nice little blob. And I'm going to mix this PVA, it's absorbable into the water. And I'm actually going to use texture powder for the adhesive. There are coving adhesives specifically made for the job of adhering coving or cornice to the ceilings and mouldings to the ceilings. For instance, here's a sample here, cove adhesive. So personally, I like to use texture powder. Personally, I've used texture powder with a bit of PVA to fix up coving or cornice for many years, and many years later, the coving and the cornice are still adhered. Leave that rest for 5 minutes and we will come back to you after a cup of tea. That's the one. Right, so just to show a quick example. The bottom of the cornice, put in line with the bottom line you drew. And you can see we've cut that angle onto the template. So I'll take that one down, keep it rolling. We put that one up. And so keep it on the line. And you can see the... Yeah. Excellent, so that's an interior mitre. Interior mitre. We're going to glue these covings on now, this cornice, we're going to glue it on, yeah, with the adhesive we just mixed up. I want to show you the tools we're going to use. This is a nice firm scraper, and this is something called a corker. It's much like a texturing comb. It's got a wooden handle, and it's got a plastic flexible blade. These are available on eBay. They will last you for years and years, these corkers. This is called a corker. decorator's corker, and they do many DIY jobs. Right, I want to show you the mixed texture which we're using for adhesive. You must have this as a thick consistency. Yeah, thick consistency. Yeah, and I'll show you how to layer on the cornice. So it's a thick consistency, and this is what you require. You can't have this too watery, too wet. You need a thick consistency for adhering coving or cornice. You can see the back of the cornice. Yeah, you can see the back of the cornice here. There's a lip there, only a small lip, but it's sufficient. And also, you see a lip there as well. Yeah, these two lips here, this is where we're going to put our adhesive on. We take a lump as such, and we take it to our cornice, we hold it at an angle, and we just lay it on and move the scraper down. Move the scraper down. As you see, I'm standing the adhesive up. I'm not laying the adhesive down there, I'm standing the adhesive up. Yeah, because this depth here will adhere onto the ceiling or wall. Yeah, so we need that depth. We'll be into the cornice and continue. This takes a little bit of practice. Yeah, it takes a little bit of practice to get used to. But once you've got used to it, it'll be fantastic. Now, we could get a cornice and we can flip it around to reveal the other side. Same again. As you can see, with the amount of adhesive I've placed on here, as soon as we lay it up onto the ceiling, it's going to squish out over all the edges, which is what we want. We want this to happen. And I'll show you why in a second. Right, so now I'm going to flip the cornice back around because it was in the right way first of all. Now, as you can see the way I moulded the cornice, I got one thumb there, so it's not touching the texture. I mean, my hands are spread, so I've got 50% of the cornice there, yeah? So I can handle the cornice quite well, I can flick it. You can do anything really. So now, we're going to offer it to our area. Without putting it directly onto the ceiling or wall first, hover it over there, and when you've got it 50-50, how you like it, and you follow your lines, you just tap it on, and tap it on. As you can see now, see all the overfill of adhesive? Yeah, this is ideal. So what we do is get our scraper, hold the scraper flat against the surface, and just gently pull it towards you. And just pull it flat on the ceiling. Nice and gently. See, with the overfill of Coving adhesive, it's filled in the joint from the ceiling to the wall, it's filled it in nicely. Under there, we're a little bit short of adhesive. Yeah, so we need to fill that in. So, with the adhesive on your corker, put it onto your scraper and commence to fill in, fill in, fill in, fill in and fill in, and then gently. The next stage with that now is to wash that adhesive off the coving or cornice. Ordinary paintbrush, nice soft paintbrush that's been wet, and then just gently wash it off. Wash it off. Just gently wash it off the wall. Making sure you don't wash the adhesive out of the joints. You don't want to wash the adhesive out, so just gently across there. So you've got a clean cornice. There we are. Now for the second piece we've already marked. Hold on. I just want to hold this up here so you can have a little look. Right, even though we've marked and cut it, this second piece, once you've glued the first piece on, it's always a good idea to check the second piece to see if we need to make any adjustments to the mitre that we cut, because we're cutting freehand. So, as you can see, I've offered it up. Right, you want to come by here then and check the corner. As you can see, it's not a perfect fit. You can see a slight gap down the bottom, slight gap at the top. So I need to take out a little bit in the centre so it slides in a little bit further to close that gap up. And I'll show you how to do it. We don't cut the face, we cut behind the cornice, and I'll show you how to do it now. Right, as you see, this fitted almost perfectly, except it needed to come off here so it slides in a bit closer to the wall. So the way we do that, we're going to actually take a little bit off the back here. Yeah, we're going to take the back of the coving off, which is not going to show because we're not going to interfere with the face. So basically, stand it up, get your saw, and we're going to cut some of that off, yeah? I'll show you an example up here now. And that's gone in and close the gap up a little better. Get your coving, flip your cornice over, your coving over, and we're going to butter the lip, and we're going to butter the lip. Again, make sure the bottom of the cornice is in line with the bottom of the cornice that's already adhered, so the bottoms are in line. Tap him on. Oh, actually, all this is underneath. Nice and gently, using the corner of the scraper, set some shit on the corner of the scraper and put the corner of the scraper directly into the corner of the cornice. Right. Use your scraper flat, as in flat, yeah, see what's on it? And then what you want to do is just follow the cornice, and then the other side, flat, so get into the corner, into the corner, follow the shape of the cornice, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Right, we can give that a couple of minutes, and then we're going to wash this down with a soft brush. I'll show you how to wash it down now. So if you want very soft paintbrush, just wash the adhesive off the cornice. Don't wash the adhesive out of the corner. What's going to happen is, eventually when this texture dries, it's going to make a little crack down there. So we fill it in again once it's dried. And with your finger, just get a nice edge using the finger technique. There we are. Always keep a pencil behind your ear. Always keep a pencil behind your ear. Now, here I have a full length of cornice, and we're going to hold it up against the wall. But first of all, I'm going to mark. If you remember, we cut this at an angle. Yeah, using our saw, we cut it at an angle, so it's not straight. We've actually cut it at an angle. So where the bottom is there, and where the top is there, I'm going to hold this full length of cornice right against the back end of the wall, over there, right against the wall, and I'm going to hold it in line. I'm going to hold it in line with the cornice that's already on there. I'm going to mark, and mark. Right, here's my mark here. You see one there, yeah, one there, and there's a mark there. So now basically, we don't need this. So I'm going to join the two dots. And if you remember, when we cut the first piece up there, we tilted our saw to 45 or 90 degrees at least. So that's what we're going to do now. So I'm just going to make a little mark first. And then I'm going to tilt the saw. I'm going to cut with a tilted saw. It'll all come clear to you in a second. Right, so basically, because we're joining two pieces of coving together, there's that one on the ceiling, yeah? Here's an example. The first piece on the ceiling is cut at an angle. Yeah, so that's cut at the ceiling, and we've adhered the piece up there. So now, the second piece is going to butt up to the piece on the ceiling, is cut at the angle to go with that angle, because instead of having just two pieces butt together, the cornice, it's best to cut a nice angle so they slot in better. So keep the pencil in your ear, and with the piece we cut now, we're going to offer it up and we're going to check it out. So we're offering it up, and we're going to check it out. And as you can see, that's not too bad. And it's not perfect, but we're going to make adjustments now. We just need to cut a little bit off here. Yeah, a little tiny bit off there. And then we're going to commence and adhere this. I'm just going to cut a little tiny bit off here at the bottom, nice and gently. It's good to use a sharp Stanley knife. Also, I'm just using a saw here. Here we are. Right, we're going to butter this now. We're going to adhesive this now, and we're going to stick it onto the ceiling. And there we left our joint, our butt joint. So now we're going to get our shit, our mud, I'm going to stick it right in there. Right in there, get in there. Get in there. Right in. Get it in there. Get it in there. Right, nice and gently, as before, follow the coving with a scraper flat onto the cornice or coving. Right, we're not going to wash this down yet because I've breached slightly with the texture. So we're going to wash the rest of the corners. That is going to shrink back slightly and we're going to second fill it all again. As with every corner we make, we're going to second fill. Yeah, so we haven't cut no mitre. We never cut no mitre, yeah, as we done there. We've just gone straight into the wall. And what we're going to do, we're going to create a mitre with, make sure you get a piece that's longer than what we want. So I'm just going to hold the mitre there, and I'm going to judge, make a mark, and on our mark here. So that's going to come off down here, that's going to come off, and I'll show you how to do the next step. Just going to cut this off now. Same sort of cut, 90 degrees at an angle, follow the line, nice and gently, nice sort of work. Right, we cut the mitre there, and what we're going to do, we're going to stand the cornice up, and what we're going to do, we're going to cut away the back of the cornice, so we're just going to leave a nice face here. So we're going to cut away the back of the cornice, so let me show you here. Got to be nice and gentle with this now, nice and gentle. This is where a little coping saw or a standing knife will come in handy. Right, as you can see now, I'm going to show you the back. What I've cut all the way the back. Yeah, so I've left that front there. Now, let's have a look at our results. Oh, look at that. Yeah, it's not perfect. But if I was to go to the back of it again and cut more out of the back, that would slide in. So what I'm going to do now, this is an exterior mitre. From there to there is an exterior mitre. So I'm going to mark the ceiling, the wall, and because we got this cut here, I'm going to cut the quick mitre here so we can slide in there. Now we have great results there. So the bottoms are the same. I'm going to cut the top. As you can see now, we've got our template, we've got the top template, and the way exterior mitres work is we'll hold the first piece up on our line as shown. We're going to mark that piece there, yeah, and we're going to mark down there. Right, so I'm going to cut this now on the marks. With a 45 degree, so there's number one. We will not stand on that. Let me just show you. There. So we'll keep that one aside, and then we'll go back to our first cut, which fits in there just nicely. We're going to mag again on the ceiling, onto the corners, and then into the centre, so that's going to be rubbish. And then when it's all put up to the ceiling, it should look something like this. Make sure the bottoms are fitting. As you can see, we've got a slight gap here. I'm going to close this gap by taking some of the back of the cornice out, so it closes up. So I'll be able to do that with just one piece. I'll be able to take a bit of the back of there, right down the back, take this off, and then we'll be able to close that gap. Right, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to apply adhesive and we're going to fix into the ceiling. Nothing at all. Oh, that's okay. Right, what we're going to do now, we're going to get a nice soft brush or a sponge. We're going to wash all the texture, all the adhesive off the cornice, and make a nice corner. Everything, all this, everything will shrink back when it's dry. It won't matter so much on these joints here, but in the corners you get a little crack, a little crack. So when it's all dried solid, then you can mix up some more of this and then second fill again and wash out. Yeah, so let it all dry off solid.